Hi again everyone, Scott Player Popcorn Fan here, and in this video, I finally finished playing my version of Pokemon Brilliant Diamond, so I figured why not do a review for Brilliant Diamond and Shining Pearl. Granted, I'm going to mainly be talking about Brilliant Diamond because I do have both versions. I have Brilliant Diamond and I have Shining Pearl. It's just, for this preparation for this video, I mainly just played through Brilliant Diamond, beat the main game, and I've already played through the post-game a little bit. So Brilliant Diamond and Shining Pearl, the new remakes that just came out last Friday, and I do enjoy these games, definitely. I think they're very faithful, in quotation marks, faithful to the original Diamond Pearl games, which came out in 2006, which is quite a while ago. So right off the bat, with these remakes, because they've been released on the Nintendo Switch, there's no touch screen like the DS had, because you had to look at two screens when the original games came out. And in these new games, they do a decent enough job of having similar mechanics to those original games, but with quality of life updates and upgrades to the mechanics, and also integrating elements of Generation 8 Sword and Shield into these new games, and definitely felt throughout the entire game from beginning to end. And what's just, I enjoy these games. I think the music is really good. I like a lot of the characters. It's just, my main flaw with these new games is that there's not a lot of added story content from Platinum. And for those of you that are massive Pokemon fans like myself, that can be a bit of a disappointment, because Pokemon Platinum, the third version, had a lot of story beats and elements that added to the backstory. It added to the backstory of the boss of Team Galactic, Cyrus. There were a lot of little interesting tidbits of his character in Platinum that are not present in this game, and there are certain cutscenes and certain story beats from Platinum that aren't here, in these remakes, at all. And there's a brief mention of the scientist from Platinum in these new games. There's a certain line of dialogue when you get to the Galactic HQ in Veilstone City. There is a brief mention of the scientist from Platinum, but that's it. Looker's not in the game at all, because Looker was introduced in Platinum and has been in a lot of the newer Pokemon games ever since, but not in Generation 8 at all. So, there's a lot about that just kind of hampers the overall experience. So, if you ask me, I think still to this day, even with these remakes, the best iteration of the Generation 4 story is Pokemon Platinum. So, that's really all I have to say about that. Granted, I like a lot of the quality of life updates, and there is trainer customization in these games, but it's more like Let's Go Pikachu and Eevee, where you just have new outfits to wear. So it's more like that than it is in Sword and Shield, which is also a bit of a letdown. And, so there's a lot about these games that I do enjoy. I like the quality of life updates, like I've said. I think the water in this game, the graphics for the water animation, I think that looks really well done. A lot of the Pokemon in battle look really good. And also, another thing about this game is that, or these games, is that there's this chibi toy-like art style for the human characters in the overworld gameplay. And I wasn't sure about that at first. Over time, I've gotten used to it, and I like it because it kind of goes back to that old school over the eagle head, over the overhead kind of angle of a lot of the older Pokemon games. And I like that about these new games. It just, it feels like I'm playing an older Pokemon game, while at the same time still being a brand new Pokemon game. And that is something about these games that I do enjoy. And I think when you get to the post-game, there's quite a bit to do, even though, the post-game is not as big as, say, Pokemon Platinum. There's no Battle Frontier. There's a Battle Tower, And also, there are certain events like the Rotom event that does not... You can't do the Rotom event until you get to the post-game. And you can't do it until you get the national decks in the post-game. So that's also a bit of a letdown, because in the original Platinum game, I think, and also in the original games as well, you could get Rotom like after the Eternal Gym, I believe. So that's a bit of another bit of a letdown for a lot of fans that would have liked to have used a Rotom for their team and can't do that until the post game. So I thought that was something that, you know, kind of hampered it a little. And also, I liked how in the post game there's Romanus Park, which basically replaces the Pal Park in the original games, and in Platinum. The Pal Park was where you could transfer Pokemon from your Game Boy Advance games to the new game, to the DS games. Whereas in these new games, Romanus Park, it kind of takes inspiration from Breath of the Wild a little bit, where you use these slates and you trade mysterious shards for these slates, and these mysterious shards you would get in the Grand Underground, and then use them to activate legendary Pokemon encounters in these shrines in Romanus Park. I thought, which, you know, kind of like Breath of the Wild in that way. And also, speaking of the Grand Underground, they watered it down a lot. The secret bases are not as fun to create in these new games, because all you're collecting a lot of statues in the Grand Underground, and you're just mainly putting so many different statues of Pokemon in the secret bases, not really furniture or anything like that. So the Grand Underground was kind of watered, nerfed in that way, but at the same time, what I like about the Grand Underground is that you can encounter overworld Pokemon in the gameplay in the Grand Underground, which I thought was a lot of fun. It definitely helps to fill up your Pokedex, and that was something that I got distracted doing when looking for mysterious shards for the Romanus Park. And it's fun, you know. I enjoy the Grand Underground, but at the same time it's a bit of a letdown compared to the other older versions. So that's really all I have to say about that. And then also the Pokemon contests, they're flashier than ever. I like the Pokemon contests, although I haven't really done a whole lot with contests in my playthrough of Brilliant Diamond, but it's interesting because it feels a lot more like the Pokemon anime a little bit with the contests, and that was something I liked about these new games. And also, I just really like the battling, like Pokemon battling. It's a lot more like Sword and Shield, and the menu system is a lot more like Sword and Shield. And also, because of the EXP share, the freaking EXP share being broken like it has been ever since X and Y, you can't even turn it off. And because of that, you can kind of breeze through the game. Because of the experience share and the way it works, that can be a little bit of a annoyance not being able to turn that off. For serious veterans like myself, I would, you know, I just want to train up my Pokemon like the old days, and it just doesn't feel like that when I can't turn off the experience share. And I liked how when you get to the Elite Four, even with that, it can still be a little bit of a challenge. Like in my first playthrough of Brilliant Diamond, I struggled through, not necessarily, well, I did a little bit. Like I struggled a little bit with the Elite Four members, but once you get to Cynthia, the champion, wow, that was I lost to her Lucario like 3 times until my Infernape finally learned Flare Blitz, and I finally was able to one-hit KO that stupid Lucario. That Lucario, Cynthia's Lucario, gave me a lot of trouble. So there is a bit of a challenge once you get to the Pokemon League, and I enjoyed that. It was really good. And then once I beat the main story, like I actually really liked the end credits sequence of these new games. I liked how it was animated in a certain way, and I liked the end credits sequence in these games. It was really cool. So yeah, like overall, I enjoy these games. Just my main flaw is that it just does not incorporate a lot of elements from Platinum. and that's my main flaw with these new games. But I do enjoy them quite a bit. So, Brilliant Diamond, this is mainly just going to be a review of Brilliant Diamond, while at the same time also talking about Shining Pearl a little bit, just mainly between the differences of the games. There's just, version exclusive Pokemon and the mascot of the game being Palkia in Shining Pearl. And other than that, they're both basically the same game. So they're enjoyable games, just, for a lot of serious veterans of the franchise. That just doesn't add a whole lot of new content to play through, which I'm guessing they're saving all of that for Legends Arceus, which I'm definitely looking forward to a lot more. So that should do it for this review. If I had to give like a percentage, like for video games, I kind of like to give a percentage rating for video games. So I'd probably give it like a B+, like an 85%. That would probably be like a B+, and that's kind of my reading / grade of these games. So thank you guys so much for watching, and I will catch you all in the next video. Peace.